Hello my friends, and welcome back to Keefe's Kitchen. This week, I'm making something that I wanted to make for a long time, and I just never got around to it. For some reason, I was intimidated by the humble flour tortilla. We're making tortillas today. All right, I've made corn tortillas in the past, but I've never made a regular old flour tortillas. I was intimidated because you need lard. And I don't know why that intimidated me, but I think it was because I never have lard on hand. So I thought, I just can't do this. Well, the other day I had an inspiration. I was like, what if I just used bacon grease? Because lard is just rendered pork fat. So what, and I looked it up, and yes, you can. So let's make some homemade flour tortillas. All right, so to begin our tortillas, we need 1.5 cups of regular old flour, to which I will add about 3/4 teaspoon of regular old salt. Now I just kind of eyeballed it. It looked about right to me. So add that in, mix it up nicely with a fork just to make sure the salt is evenly distributed and you don't have any really salty bits. And now we're going to add in our fat. So this is just regular old bacon grease from breakfast. I added 2 tablespoons. Again, kind of eyeballed it. And yeah, we're just going to mix that in. Now this part, you could use a utensil, but most things that I've seen have recommended just using your hands. So you're going to kind of pinch the flour and the bacon grease together with your fingers, and the goal is to incorporate the fat and to kind of coat the flour with the fat. And I tried to show you, the texture changed. It's hard to tell on camera, but you'll just have to take my word for it. So anyway, now we're going to add in some warm water. This is just microwave for a couple seconds. This is a 1/2 cup of water. I added about half in first, then started to mix it and started to just try to combine everything with the fork and get it nice and combined before I added the second part of that 1/2 cup. So all told, like I said, 1/2 cup of, not 1/2 cup, just a 1/2 cup of water. Now once I mix it as much as I could with just the fork, I'm going to grab a cutting board and put some flour on there just to make sure it doesn't stick, coat my hands a little bit, and turn it out on there. And just get the little bits that are stuck to the bottom out. And now it looks pretty dry, but you'll notice as I start to knead, it comes together really nicely. We're going to knead this together for about 5 minutes. If you notice it's not getting nice and smooth like this, you can add a little bit more water. But after you knead for about 5 minutes, you should be left with a nice smooth ball of tortilla dough like this. We're going to wrap this up in some plastic wrap, and we're going to leave this on our counter for anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes. I think I left mine for about an hour just to rest and for that gluten to relax a bit. So after it's rested, we're going to take it out, and you'll notice again that it's gotten just nice and smooth, easy to work with, not tough at all. But yeah. So we're just going to take this out. Now, you could be really official about this, weigh it out on your little kitchen scale, and then cut it and make sure all the dough balls were exactly perfectly sized. But I decided not to, partially because I'm lazy and also because I don't have a kitchen scale. Anyway, once you've ripped evenly sized dough balls out of your amount of dough that you made, we're just going to grab one at a time and place the other ones off to the side, wrapped up in that plastic wrap so they don't dry out. And we're going to roll it out. So grab a rolling pin and some flour, coat that rolling pin in flour so the dough ball doesn't stick, and we're going to start rolling out our tortillas. Now, I have seen a couple different ways to do this. The way that I landed on was to take my rolling pin and go up and down once and then turn it a quarter turn and do that over and over until I get the thickness that I like. I tried to go pretty thin, but I'm not perfect. So anyway, once you have done that with each of your tortillas, you're going to put them on a plate and cover them up with a damp cloth, and that'll just keep them from drying out and getting all weird and hard to use. So yeah, like I said, once you roll them all out, place them under that damp cloth, and now it is time to cook our tortillas. They look kind of nice, don't they? I think so. Pretty proud of those. Especially for, I think, what did I say? This is my second time. Anyway, so now I've got my cast iron skillet heated up over medium heat for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to toss one of these tortillas right on there. Now, I recommend using a cast iron skillet. You really can't use a nonstick or a steel
pan, you really need to use a cast iron. Toss it on there and let it sit until it bubbles up, about 60 seconds, and then flip it over. And you'll notice it's got some nice, little char marks, toasty marks on there. Leave it for another 30 to 60 seconds. I gave it a little flip just to check. And hey, look at that. That there is a tortilla. Smells awesome. Smells like fresh tortillas and bacon, actually. Can't complain about that. I mean, nobody's complained about bacon smell, and if they have, that's kind of strange. Anyway, once you're done cooking your tortillas, make sure to place them on a plate lined with a towel. I thought this was kind of strange, but it really does work. It helps keep the tortillas nice and warm with insulation without condensation making them soggy. So it's kind of really nice. And hey, look at that. Homemade flour tortillas. Nothing to be afraid of.
All right, my friends, the tortillas are done. Here they are, and to be honest, they look fantastic, and they smell fantastic. If you watched one of my videos a long time ago, where I fried up bacon for something, I forget what it was, I made a comment about how you need to save your bacon grease. If you throw away your bacon grease, you're committing food sin, okay? Don't do it. It can be used for so much, and in this particular case, it adds a wonderful smell, flavor, and allows you to make these tortillas. So, I'm gonna take a tortilla. Ooh, this is hot. Tear off a piece. Put these back here because I'm gonna save them for dinner. Now, you can see it's a little charred, and that's okay. That just means my cast iron got a little hot. I just took it off for just a minute or two to let it cool down, and then we're good to go. So, let's, you can see it's got some layers from the steam, air bubbles and whatever. Let's give it a taste. So, right off the bat, you get this wonderful, slightly charred flavor from the little char spots, which is good. You get that really nice, kind of flat flour tortillas like taste. It tastes nice and fresh, and then you get this the scent of bacon, and then kind of this very light taste of bacon. It's not like a bacon flavored tortilla, right? I don't want to lie to anybody and say it's this bacon flavored tortillas. You just get this hint, the slightest hint of bacon, and this is fantastic. This would be fantastic in a breakfast burrito because you've already got that kind of bacony flavor. This would be fantastic to make like a quesadilla. Guys, make yourself some flour tortillas and never be intimidated by the lack of lard again. This has been Keefe's Kitchen. I'll see you guys not next week because I'll be out of town, and probably for the week after as well. I may upload a little something, just like a little food journey. We're going to visit some family across the country. So I may have some stuff that I upload. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.